Welcome to the National Careers Fair. My name is Miss B, and I am joined by the incredible Dr. Anna Tarabasz. She's going to be talking to us about digital branding and perceived threats of cyber oversharing. Definitely a hot topic for anyone living in the digital world today. We're going to talk more in detail about those impacts. But before we do, let's introduce our speaker. Dr. Anna Tarabasz is the Dean of Teaching and Learning. She's the head of School of Business and Humanities, the Associate Professor of Marketing at Curtin University in Dubai. She is a specialist in marketing, digital marketing, and e-commerce. She has over 17 years of experience. 15 of those years are in academia in Poland, France, Kazakhstan, United Arab Emirates, Singapore, and Australia. However, Dr. Tarabasz has worked previously in the banking, automotive, and cosmetics industry. She serves as an independent marketing and e-commerce consultant and as a keynote speaker. Dr. Tarabasz's research area oscillates around digital marketing, social media, e-commerce, the Internet of Things. I love that I can say that today, and cybersecurity. Dr. Tarabasz, that is an incredible bio, lots of incredible things that you have. Before we jump into the interesting topic that you're going to take us through, I know that this topic of digital branding and these perceived threats of oversharing, this is something new that I know many educators and parents keep warning their children about. But here you are today talking about it from a professional perspective. And also, I'm sure you're going to be talking to students about the realities of what that means. And I know growing up myself, we didn't live in the cyber world without divulging how young I am today. But in that, what that meant for me as a young person was, if it happened, did it really happen if nobody knew that it happened? But now for young people, we're in a digital world, and that's a different place, isn't it? So what do you think is important, and what would be the key thing that young people should be listening out for as you are presenting?
Okay, thank you, Maria, for a lovely introduction and for the interesting question. What we need to understand that there needs to be a ginger balance between doing branding, caring for our digital footprint, because ultimately we are our own PR specialists, and there is nothing bad to talk about branding in a digital world. Myself, I've been blessed by it because I've never applied for a job in my life. I was always headhunted, and that was based on my profile, on my digital footprint. But we need to be very careful in doing that skillfully, because apart from doing branding activities, we can talk too much private things, or too many things that people might not like. And instead of getting a job or getting admitted to the university of our dreams, we might end up having troubles and getting fired. So I think that keeping that balance, I believe this is the most important thing. And I'm going to talk about what to look for and what to be aware of. And hopefully that this session will be beneficial for our participants today.
Fantastic. Okay, so I will turn it over to you. I'm going to switch my camera off, but I am here in the background. If you have any questions, please do reach out via the chat box. Let's keep that chat going, and I will let Dr. Tarabasz take over.
Thank you so much. So looking forward, and I hope that you will enjoy my session. Okay, so let me just very quickly go back to the previous slides, and let us start from the very beginning. Today we are going to talk about digital branding and the threats that are awaiting around the corner when we are talking about these cyber threats. So Maria already said a few things, warm things about me. In case you wish to stay connected with me, please do so by sending me a personalized LinkedIn invite. Or if you wish to stay in touch via any other source of the digital channels, please do so. Here, that QR code, if you scan it, you can see my research if you will be interested in what I have to say in this regard. But it's not about me, it's not about my research, but it is about today's topic. So as Maria rightly said, we are living in a world that is going digital. It went digital and it will be digital. So the entire world goes viral. and the entire world goes online. You can see that the digital transformation that happened in the region due to COVID, COVID sped up what we are doing digitally by 3 years worldwide, and in our region by even 4 years. You can see the small difference, same place, similar events, year 2005, year 2013, how we have progressed. We are seeing things differently, we are perceiving things differently. This is a papal election in 2005, 2013, and you can see how people started watching their reality to the screens and trying to capture the moment on their screen. And then what happens? Then they share it. This is the digital transformation. I'm not talking about the systems that are being facilitated, the transition that is happening within the organizations. I'm talking about the transition that happened within us. We start living with the screens, via the screens, through the screens. We started sharing our life, and that's great because we became a global village, but that is having as well certain serious threats behind it. So to talk about the digital branding, we need to understand that companies are posting online and as well individuals are posting online. Because if the audience is online, we need to follow what the audience is. So companies, they post online just to boost their online presence because they realize that the digital is their single point of contact nowadays, and audiences, their potential customers, their prospects are going through them via the digital channels. This is the capacity for them to build a brand. This is the moment for them to boost their reputation. Let's be very frank, everybody is just Googling for information till that extent that we're Googling from the Google search engine and the browser that is being utilized later. It came to our habit that we are WhatsApping friend and Googling for information. So this facilitates the ease of finding because I need to be online to be found. I need to be found easily. Companies as well are posting online because that boosts the website traffic, that increases the followers database. They are posting on social media to get new prospects, to boost their sales turnover, and of course to get some revenue. So ultimately they are posting for two reasons, just to be branded and just to make money out of it, right? That leads me to my next stage when with the transition to so-called click and mortar, which means to that digital world, if you are not on Google, you do not exist. And it's not only applicable for the company that if you are not on the internet, then your business is out of business. But what is the most important thing for us? It is to understand that unfortunately, in this regard as well, it is applicable for ourselves too. So if you are not online, you might be considered as a non-existing. So let me ask you a very simple question. Why do you post online? Why do you share things on social media? If you could please use chat to tell me why you are posting online, why you are creating your presence on Instagram, on Twitter, on TikTok, on Snapchat, on Facebook, on LinkedIn. Just please share your thoughts. If you are posting, why you do so? If I may ask you to turn the chat on and just tell me why you are posting online. Even for the moderator, if you could please type for me your answers. When Maria is posting something, why you do it? Are you going for a better reach? To be visible? I can see one answer that I am trying to boost my range. I want people to know my brand. I want to be hired. I want to be admired. These are the inputs that are coming to me. I can even see that we are going for the comments. I'm doing it for fun. I am having an answer. I want to get likes. I want to reach to many others who want to interact with me. I want to make friends. I want to be visible. So we are having different rationale that why we are posting, but it means that why we are doing it sometimes resembles Same with why the brands are posting. Oh, I can even see the input that I want to sell my product, or I want to sell myself if I want to be interesting for those who are going to hire me. So let me put it this way. That brings me to the concept of the brand and the branding. And let me explain it for you. So the brand, as you can see, it is the name, turn, design, symbol, or some feature that distinguishes one seller's good or service from those of other sellers. So it means that by doing the branding, we are trying to become unique, whether we are an individual or whether we are a company. So process of branding or digital branding, it is the process which utilizes the digital means of expressions like media channels, different touch points that you are having to become meaningful for a specific organization, company, or give a meaning to a good or a service. Now, when we translate it into why that is so important, of course, we already said to be visible, to get friends, to get the reach, to get the likes, to get the feedback, to understand what people like, what people dislike. Main benefits of branding, there are 8 that I could enumerate. First and foremost, we are driving more conversions and more sales. We are generating and retaining more customers from it as organizations. We can charge more because we are well-known brand, right? We can as well increase the business value. We can get instantly to get more visibility, more recognition. We are being branded. We are increasing trust and emotional connect. We are being more exposed and our brand can expand and we can extend our business. And as well, it's way easier for marketers to advertise the brand that is very well known to its audience. Now, the question now would be, what is then the corporate branding and where do we see it? Please, guys, use the chat tools once more to tell me where we can see online the practices of companies trying to boost their visibility in online channels. When you will see the efforts of companies that they are trying to do the branding, well, you will see companies posting about themselves, which channels, which tools they will be utilizing. Please use the chat tool to answer my question. Where companies will be promoting themselves online, just name these channels. So I'm going to have a sponsored post on Instagram, on YouTube, on LinkedIn, on Facebook. I'm going to have it as well. I can see entries on Twitter, through TikTok, on Snapchat. So all these different channels that we are utilizing. Thank you guys for your inputs. Now, we need to understand that certain channels work for a brand and certain they don't. If you want to be a serious brand, rather your brand shouldn't be present on TikTok because TikTok is way more informal. And at the same time, certain channels, they require your constant attention, like Twitter. Same it is applicable for your personal branding. If you want to create an image of somebody who is extremely professional, like I am doing now, I am mainly available on LinkedIn. It is true, I have my Facebook. It is true, I have my Insta. I'm not using Snapchat. I'm not on TikTok because I don't feel that these channels are for me. And I believe that I have enough exposure on LinkedIn to make it happen. So now think when you will be doing the branding exercise, which channel would be the best for you and what kind of a story you want to unwind across these channels. Whatever you will be doing, please make sure this is consistent. Now, we are going into the topic now of the corporate and personal digital footprint. So what you are leaving behind, it is so-called footprint. All posts that you will find about you, all things that you will see posted by the third party about you, This is your digital footprint. These are your footprints that are left behind you. So the digital footprint, in my case, if I will ask you to search for my name when it's Anna Tarabasz, if you will start Googling for me, possibly you will find me on a Google Scholar, possibly you will find me on a ResearchGate because I'm an academician, possibly you will find me on ORCID because this is my academic pathway. As well, if you will look for the images, possibly you will see me being here and there, being a keynote speaker, being a facilitator of the session, meeting important people, trying to do nice things. So this is important because that creates an understanding. I am a specialist in my domain and I know something about the topic I'm talking about, digital marketing and digital branding. What kind of digital specialist I would be if you wouldn't be able to find me easily on Google? And I believe that if you would do that exercise now, just type for me, type Anna Tarabasz there and see if I will be visible for you or not. For sure, what I want to do, it is to try to keep things separate, which means certain of my channels like Facebook, I will try to keep it private. I am trying to keep contacts with my friends, with my family, with my colleagues from school, etc. And I'm scarcely posting them. If I'm posting, I'm doing that professionally over the LinkedIn. I am doing as well some posting on Twitter because it gives me lots of visibility. If you want to be visible very quickly, it is Twitter that you should be utilizing. Okay, the channel that I am the most active on, it is LinkedIn, because LinkedIn tells everything about me. It's like, for me, one-stop shop. It's a place when you can get about my education, my experience, my certification, the journey, what I am doing, and at the same time, the institution I am associated with and I am promoting. Now, after I do that exercise, now you know what we should be looking for. The exercise I would like you to do today, it is type for yourself. Google for yourself, put your name and surname in Google and see what you will see there. If you will see your pictures, if you will see your profiles, if you will see your publications, if you will see your projects, if you will see your pictures with your friends, see what you will be able to find. Your website, your blog, your Insta, your Twitter, your TikTok, your LinkedIn, and see if what can be found about you online, it is something that you've been looking for and you are happy about. This is a very important exercise because that gives you a fair understanding what people might see about you. Now, usually you are kept on being logged into your browser, which means that certain results you will see because you are logged into an application. So, for example, if you are using Google Chrome, which majority of us do, if you will open any Chrome tab and then you will press together Ctrl-Shift-N, you will open a new window in so-called incognito mode. And that incognito mode will be that black window. Now try to type for your name and surname in that incognito mode. And to your surprise, you will see that certain results that you could see before have disappeared and certain will be showing differently and you have not seen them before. What you can see in the incognito mode, it is what your potential recruiter will see about you because they are not connected with you. For you, they are third parties, they are external people, and this is exactly what they will be able to see about you. Now, this is more important. Cross-check from the incognito mode. Really, do you have pictures that you are happy about? Do you still have the content that you can brag about? And do you see exactly the way you wish to be seen, or are you visible? Usually when I'm running digital marketing classes, I'm asking my students to verify so-called social selling index on LinkedIn. If you are logged in with a LinkedIn, utilizing that QR code will lead you to so-called LinkedIn SSI. This is this link you can see here. After clicking on it or just typing LinkedIn SSI as I did here, or utilizing that QR code, you will be redirected to this website. And then what you need to click, it is to get your score for free. This is the index. Yeah, so it's good. It's good. Some of you, you've managed to find yourself in the incognito mode. Good, which means you are visible. Hopefully that was on the first page, and hopefully you are happy with the results. So now let's go professional. So professional, let's assume that you want to be exposed to a wider audience and you want to make it professional for the potential recruiter. So this is the moment when you go for the LinkedIn, you click on it, and then what you see. I can see this one. This is my results. My social selling index for today, it's 69 out of 100. 100, of course, is the top score. The lower the mark, the weaker the profile you have on the LinkedIn. You can see that I am top 1% on the industry SSI, and I'm considered as a business supported academician. And within my network SSI, I am in the top 6. People in my industry, other academicians with the business background maximum. And as you can see here, my designation exactly according to LinkedIn is sales professional in the higher education industry. Their average here is 23 crumbs, which means I'm almost 3 times stronger profile than they have. And people in my network, the average for them is 44. Usually, I am connected with my students and at the same time with the people in the industry. People in the industry are pulling that result. The students usually are lowering that result. In general, you can see that my profile is way stronger. Now, you need to understand where that 69 points are coming from. There are 4 components for the score that I'm getting from establishing my professional brand. Here, I am very strong in building relationships. I am very strong on maintaining relationships with people online. I'm not finding the right people, and I am not great with engaging with the insights because usually I'm too busy to do so. And usually I am being approached. I'm getting like 500 connections over the LinkedIn on a daily basis. So that can give you an understanding, how various profiles can come. Now, how to improve it? Because that will be your first question, how to become more visible. First and foremost, you need to refresh your LinkedIn as you would be refreshing your CV, and you need to revise your keywords. You need to understand that the CV, it is your core thing. I'm just sharing with you a CV of my husband. Having 17 years of industry experience, he can still fit his CV on the 1 page. And the most important thing, it is here, skills and competences. Have a look at this. These are the things that will be the factor for matching for the artificial intelligence for the first seeding of your CV. Sometimes you will apply and nobody will revert because you've been applying for the job description, and what is in your CV doesn't match the job description. So a small trick that you can do, just put these things that are in those appealing job descriptions for you in your CV, and you will see that immediately you will get more people reverting back to you. That's the first thing. Second thing, it is make sure that you will submit everything just to get so-called all-star profile in the LinkedIn, that you will get all your education, that you will get all your experience. And especially for students, it's super important to get the volunteering experience, internship experience, because guys, at a certain moment you need to get the experience, and when you will be applying for the job that is appealing for you, they will ask you, do you have experience? And then you will say like, no, I'm a fresher. So then they will tell you, no, thank you, we are not interested. So how you can study and at the same time get the experience by volunteering, by participating, by giving extra mile, by utilizing your summer, not for holidays, but just to plan your journey, how to boost your CV. And please remember that no job is a bad job. Each job gives you an experience, right? So make sure that you will have something to put in your CV, and then make sure that you will be able to find, let's say, appealing things for your potential recruiter, that you will be able to highlight the things where you are strong, and you will be able to do it in a skillful manner. So you can see the example of a good CV and a bad motivation letter. So I am just giving you a heads up of small things, how you can boost it. Now, when you will be sharing in the social media, I want you to understand that each social media channel has a different meaning, and you need to use it well, because each social media channel has an audience, and each social media channel has particular style of talking. So please have that in mind once you will be posting there in the future. And digital branding is important because branding is everything. Branding is something that allows you to become Starbucks or not an ordinary company serving coffee. And yes, branding, being visible, exposing yourself is important, but you cannot overshare, because this is where all these troubles are coming from. So the oversharing, when we are not branding any longer, when we are oversharing, when you are disclosing intimate details of your life via the electronic means of communication, when you are exhibiting too much, we know that the world is transparent now, and people, they literally live with their mobiles, doing lots of lives, lots of reels, but you need to keep something for yourself, for your family, for those that you love. And then you protect yourself and you protect them. And we live in the era when we are like very socially narcissistic. So we need to be careful not to fall in love with ourselves and with our images online. One more thing, we cannot become so narcissistic that we are posting the image of ours that is completely not true. Some of us are sharing that much that it is not any longer about branding, that it is not any longer about oversharing. It can become an addiction. Now, we need to understand one more thing, that what people are posting online, we are blurring the lines. But the question is, are you just only blurring the lines with the filters when you are posting something on social media, or you are posting something that is absolutely far from being true? Possibly you could see even the celebrities and the influencers posting pictures of themselves that they were completely unrealistic. Think of Madonna. She looks like a teenager, but in the reality now she has as many years as she has. So definitely this is something we would like to avoid. Let me show you what kind of world with lies we live in. With that movie, what I wanted to show you it is that sometimes trying to use too many filters and becoming too artificial and trying to be better selves that we are truly, it doesn't help. Sometimes just posting what it is truly, it will give you higher exposure on the social media than possibly. Now, the second thing in terms of oversharing, I would like to let you understand that oversharing, it is too private, as you can see that joke here, the meme that, and now your friends will be able to follow your colonoscopy on a Facebook. That's way more private to be shown on Facebook. And second, it is when you are sharing too much information. So the most important thing, we are doing details about the flight with your partner, and later I will show you why. And then the story goes down, too much information, too much personal, too much being able to identify ourselves as so-called personal identifiable information like your birth date, email address, photos, marking location, sharing relationship status, interest, beliefs, God forbids the statement signed with your own name and the signature, all the sensitive data that is being released by the users. And it is very popular among the teens, and it is very popular around the globe. This is the research from the US showcasing what has been shared by teenagers in the US, but here you can see the different types of research done in the UAE and in Poland, which is my home country. People are accepting the invitations from those that they don't know. They are sharing too much public data. They are willingly sharing the data because, oh, I will only share my mobile number and my email in favor of a free app. No, 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 because it will cost you. All that happens at a cost, and that cost comes as different types of cyber threats, that they are either malicious virus or malware attacks or ransomware or other nasty things that can happen to you or already even happen and you didn't know about that. Now, all that oversharing has consequences like damaged reputation, like cyberbullying, vulgarity, or decreased productivity, or even divorce, or even losing a job. We should brand ourselves, but not talk too much about it. Correct me if I'm wrong. I believe that you've seen before pictures like this, like, hey guys, we've been upgraded to the business. I don't know if you know, but this barcode here, it contains all the information about your passport, about your date of birth, and about your name, surname, nationality, passport number, and so on and so forth. So really that's a straightforward no, 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 because you are releasing the PII, that's first thing. And the second, you are telling people that you're traveling, that you are out of home and you are just ready to get burglared. So yeah, or pictures like that, that people are sharing what I have, my car, my watch, or how funky life I live in. If you have seen it, let me show you another movie.
شو الساعة الحلوة هذه؟ 80,000 صح؟ لا 150,000. عجيبة. قلت لي تجمع ماركات؟ أنا بعد شراتك. حبة يمهم. وبيتك ما شاء الله حلو وكبير. كأنه قصر. لحظة. هاي لامبورجيني جلاردو؟ طلعت مو بهين والله. أنا سايق نفسه، يمكن أنت مسافر فرنسا. عيل أنت الحين في المطار مسافر. يلا تروح وترد بالسلامة.
So yeah, but that's not the only thing that is awaiting behind the corner. Oversharing can result in cyberbullying, which is especially common among teenagers as a form of cyber harassment. Or it can end up with cyber stalking when you are going to be an object of false accusations, defamation, slander, or any other types of solicitation or blackmailing. Trend that we are not perceiving as dangerous, but it is there. It is sharenting, which means it's parents that are sharing about their kids, which is so popular in the US, France, Spain, and the UK, because we know where you live, what you have, and how your baby looks like. That can end up in kidnapping. And I'm not joking, because there have been registered cases like this as an abuse and the result of oversharing. We can end up being a victim of social engineering when somebody is getting the data about us and then manipulates the data to get some confidential information, to log into your bank or get some permission or get some money transfer on your behalf, because it will be so credible, because it sounds like you and it looks like you, but it wasn't you, right? And it may end up even with the identity theft, when it will become a fraud based with your name, with your surname, but not done by you because you shared too much. So what should we do to avoid it? As a last sentence that I would like to highlight with, do branding, because it will help you. As I told you, I found my old jobs by people approaching me based on my profile, on my digital brand, but I was never oversharing. Please remember the golden rule of just keeping your mouth zipped without disclosing too much of PII. Don't brag, avoid too much information. Think about to whom it will reach. Please remember that it will be visible to your connections and the connections of your connections. And please have a look at the position number 10, just post smart. So as I said, please remember that digital branding is everything, but please do not overshare. Thank you so much for your attention, and I will be looking forward to your questions.
What a fantastic presentation. Thank you for not just giving us more insights into the career behind it, but also some of the key things to be remembering in terms of oversharing. I want to ask you, Dr. Tarabasz, this career called the influencer is very, very based on having that digital presence. In your presentation, you showed us some of the images that are reality and how they're being manipulated to look like on digital. For a young person out there thinking, I have lots of followers, or maybe even an educator out there thinking, you know, we're looking at these future careers. What's that sweet spot between what an influencer needs to do and what a brand would require of an influencer to do?
Okay, thank you, Maria. That's a very interesting question. I think that the answer is balance. Balance, and you need to understand into which industry you are going and what you want to achieve in your future life. Definitely, if your career is about to be an influencer, it's something that I wouldn't do, but influencers, they share their lives, including, you know, like showcasing their kids. This is something that I would never do because I want to leave my kids aside. But if you don't want to become an influencer, think how your, I don't know, boyfriends, girlfriends, parents, siblings would feel if they will see you there online, for example, wearing that bikini or without that bikini, right? And I will be very nasty and I could say, like, listen, we got an example of a Kim Kardashian that almost became the first wife. And we know very well that she was having a movie that possibly she would like to avoid having ever if she reaches there when
so just jumping in there, Dr. Tarabasz, sorry to interrupt you. I'm just really conscious of our time here. So what I'm taking away from you in terms of being an influencer is really still be very conscious of what you're putting out there and what you're branding as yourself, because what you think might be good today, in a couple of years, looking back at this experience, you might not be thinking the same. And as an individual thinking about branding, so I know listening in right now would be students of media studies and of course, students across the college looking at different subjects. But branding and digital branding is something that isn't isolated to one type of career. Really, I see this as
No, absolutely no.
throughout
Absolutely
the
no.
career, throughout the career portfolio. Dr. Tarabasz, it's been an incredible opportunity to meet with you today. And I love that you bring the realities of what is existing, and with technology evolving so quickly, and also with social channels evolving so quickly, there's no real notice as to how they're changing. You kind of go on and there's new features. I think what you've brought to us today is great awareness. And anyone thinking about a future career, everything that we heard today with Dr. Tarabasz definitely should be inspiring you to be thinking about how you can be the solution to some of these online problems today. Thank you for watching, and I will take a little break, and after the break at 2:10, we're going to be welcoming me again. I'm going to be presenting the Focus Gap Year. So if you are a student thinking about what you want to be doing post year 13, or when you graduate from secondary education, this might be a conversation that you might find interesting. I'm going to put everyone back in the waiting room and say thank you to Dr. Tarabasz for being here with us today. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you, Maria. It was my pleasure. Thank you. Have a great day ahead. Bye-bye.